We're in London then for the next round of the FEMC. Revo starts on pole from Sebastian Ocampo and Oscar Falstad. Then it's Pablo Sierra starting fourth from Cici and Tommy. Then we've got Jack Carter in 7th and Pierre Gasly in 8th, and an all-British row 5 with Jonathan Sims and Ukable. Then it's Lewis Olsen, Cosmos, Babinus Jr., Bob Tasarov, and Leo starting 15th. Then it's Daf Sanchez in 16th, Enoch Kiwi 17th, Santino Milan 18th, Tenali Gabo starts 19th from Vasky and Tan, Akari Lopez, and Miguel de Souza. With Revo and Falstad both starting on the hard tyres, and Sebastian Ocampo going for 4 races in a row. All 5 lights go on. We go green in London. Very good start from Sebastian Ocampo, already drawing alongside Revo, coming through turn 1. Doesn't quite take the lead yet, as through turn 2 they go. Ocampo to the race lead. Sierra trying to take second away from Revo, sends it down the inside. Does the Nissan miss, my man? Of course, this is probably going according to the strategy. Milan gets a 5-second time penalty. Sierra up into second. Does he try and take the lead away from the Philippine man? Yes, he does, as Pablo Sierra takes the lead from Sebastian Ocampo, and Tommy's found his way up into P3. Revo's dropped down to 4th position. I'm not too sure if DS Automobiles would be too fussed with that, considering the hard tyre strategy is to try and skip the first pit stop and gain track position. But a track like this, I'm not too sure if that's going to be too helpful. But Ocampo's still all over the back of Pablo Sierra. Of course, attack mode will be active on the next lap. But Sierra already outside of the attack mode threat, as Ukable, his teammate in Pierre Gasly, already trying to make moves. As track limits warning for Jonathan Sims. Coming through the chicane comes everyone. Very wide for Sims. Almost looked like someone got a ton of damage. Yellows. Oh, tons of spinners out there. As Enoch Kiwi and Babinus Jr. both in the thick of it. And I think, no front wing for the Hong Kong number 25. And he's going to have to limp back home to the pits while holding up a lot of drivers here. Pablo Sierra, fastest first sector of anyone. Ocampo does have attack mode. Revo should have also gotten it there. Ukable found his way up into 6th. Sims has found his way up into 7th. Falstad's dropped down to 8th. So for a lot of the drivers on the hard tyres, you'd expect them by about lap 3, 4, you'd expect them to be around like 7th down to 9th, since they all started in the top 10. It's just Revo right now doing a pretty good job managing his tyres while defending the 2 Hondas behind him. Maybe it's just a Ukable and Gasly thing. Maybe they've got inter-team radio. I'm not too sure. But this isn't NASCAR, so driver-to-driver radio probably isn't a thing yet. As we look to Pierre Gasly! And Gasly in the wall! Falstad gets a 5-second time penalty! Oh, that's a big shunt for Jack Carter and Cosmos. Fastest lap goes to Sebastian Ocampo. That's going to help Revo and Ukable greatly. Into the wall there has just gone Cici. Santino Milan gets another 5-second time penalty. 15 seconds going to the Nissan driver, and Cici is out of the race. Virtual safety car has been called out on lap 3 of 15. 15-second time penalty to Santino Milan. That's an outstanding penalty if I've ever seen one. As Enoch Kiwi now coming into the chicane. And it's weird to think this entire thing caused by Pierre Gasly. He just missed this braking point, we can presume. As Yui now coming into the pits, but he didn't retire from this race. Cici, he crashed out. And for Sims Motorsport, based just outside of here, they're based in Birmingham. It's not that great. But we're on board with Cosmos, who's trying to close in on Sims. And just going to point this out, while Falstad, yes, did get a 5-second time penalty, he did overtake Jack Carter. So, considering that he could try and pull out the gap, and of course, the hard tyre strategical advantage, as that's Pablo Sierra, second in World Driver standings. Revo takes the lead! 4 overtakes in a single turn! I've never seen something like that before. That's brilliant. Another collision further back for Revo's teammate Jack Carter. Gets back onto the track quite cleanly and safely. That's one of the great overtakes in the championship. Daniel Bogdasarov peels into pit lane just to change tyres. But Revo has now taken the race lead ahead of Sebastian Ocampo, who has the fastest lap, and Tommy in third. But for Pablo Sierra, his soft tyres really being the end of him, really. New Cable now on the back of the Spaniard in fourth position. And could that crash have decided the championship? We'll only find out once we reach Las Vegas, which will likely be next year. But not Kiwi's in the fastest third sector, I'll presume. But Revo leading the way here in London. That was quite the overtake, and he's hit the wall! Revo in the barrier! He's lost his front wing! There goes the strategical advantage! U-Cable also hits the barriers! Gets back on the track just about. Tommy has taken the lead. Sebastian Ocampo peels into pit lane. And Revo now without a front wing. His front wing's actually just off the racing line as Bastien Tan also spins, and another incident. And that's for Tenali Gabo, I presume. Yes, Gabo in the wall. And Bastien Tan missing his front wing column. He's got tons of damage to that McLaren car. Many drivers coming into the pits at the end of this lap. Oh, that's Bogdasarov in the wall. Daniel Bogdasarov hits the wall, right, driving over that front wing. And Anot Kiwi doing the exact same thing as the Frenchman. That's chaos here in London. Sierra right on the back of Revo. Tommy leads this Prix. Tommy, who won his first race, we believe, I believe, in Rome with Next TV Neo in, I'm pretty sure, his debut season. He's leading again here in London. And after Revo make that sensational overtake, he's dropped down to second, but Tommy leads away. Oh! Into the wall goes the Venturi man. He's left his front wing there. In come the top three, I presume. Or does Tommy? Yes, Tommy stays out and does lead. Volstad's hit the wall as well. Coming through then. Track's been cleared. Half race distance, and Sebastian Ocampo, championship leader, out of the Prix. Virtual safety car for only the second time in this race, and Sebastian Ocampo is out, and he will not leave here with 3 race wins in a row. And if Sierra scores more than 14 points, he will not leave here as the championship leader heading into the back half of season 19. Virtual safety car is ending, and Volstad will lead us from, and Tommy will lead us from Oscar Volstad and Jonathan Sims. I have to say this right now. I think there is a possibility of Oscar Volstad. Oh no, that's Anot Kiwi who's hit the wall again. I was gonna say that there's a possibility of this man, Jonathan Sims, winning this race. I said Volstad because he was in second. I think Sims could try and go for his first career victory at home for his team and for himself. The first race win in London would be absolutely sensational, as we watch Tommy coming through the chicane, going very deep. So Volstad should inherit the race lead as Tommy does peel into the pits. And those hard tyres beginning to go off. Oh, look at that, very wide as Revo takes, that's going to be the race lead for the Italian. Yes, Revo leads from Pablo Sierra, and I'd wager U-Cable, fastest third sector, going to U-Cable at 22.549. Sims coming out on soft tyres. Revo's going to have quite the strategical decision to make here. I'm looking at Revo's tyre wear, 81%. He'll probably come in again for what should be his last stop, around lap 9, 10, if he wants to push it lap 11. Actually, you know what? No, he might even come in at lap 8. That's how little trust a lot of drivers and teams might even have concerning these tyres. And Jack Carter has a real left puncture. Real left puncture for Jack Carter. An Okiri comes in. Lots of damage for him. But those mediums did not look good when he came out of the pits. And Carter now drops to the back of the pack. 20th position for the Dane. As his teammate now heads towards the final chicane. To start lap 8. Almost the wall for the Italian driver. Trying to return. Trying to bring back the revolution. And as fastest lap goes to Revo. As Tommy spins there. He even left tyre markings there. And his front wing again for the Hong Kong driver. Track's been cleared. Sims has got off. Oh, big shunt for the Sims Motorsport man, who drops outside of the points. He's dropped to 13th there. Does he still have his front wing intact? He does, so he will still be able to continue in this race. But that was tons of damage being dealt to that Sims Motorsport car. As through the chicane comes Tonali Gabbo, the second of 2 Italians, with 5 laps to go. And it looks like, yes, Dav Sanchez getting past Pierre Gasly with attack mode, but they're still alongside each other. We are still hunting for another show-stopping finish, of course, after what happened in Oslo Race 5, where the race win was decided by just 5/10 of a second between this man, Pierre Gasly, and the man currently in second. Revo's hit the wall, and that's allowed Pablo Sierra, the man who won in Oslo, to take the lead and to start lap 9 ahead. As Cable even trying to get past, he was lapping Jack Carter there. I thought for a second there he was going to get past Revo, but he's right on the back of his first teammate now. Tommy coming into the pits then, and virtual safety car, Pierre Gasly out of the Prix. As lost front wing for Babinis Jr. Gasly out of the race, likely in a similar fashion to Ocampo and Cici before him. Very deep for Bogdasarov though. Should be able to get back racing pretty soon. Pablo Sierra leading 3 seconds ahead of Revo and Cable. And the Nissan Nismo team, last time out, didn't perform too well. This time out, performing to their liking, but with 4 laps left to go, this could be won by quite literally anyone who is still in this race. That's the kind of carnage and insanity that we've been seeing, and Sierra's dropped so much pace. The top 2 probably going to come into the pits at the end of this lap. Heck, the top 3 even, because those tyres, everyone will tell you right now, those tyres are not making it to the end of the race. Revo, if he comes in for mediums, should be able to go quite long into the wall, and out of the race goes Cable. And neither Braun Honda driver will finish this race at home. Revo takes this opportunity to go onto medium tyres, has to wait for Cosmos to go by him. That could hinder the race for Pablo Sierra here, who crossed the start-finish straight around when the full course yellow was called. Virtual safety car is ending. I don't even believe what I've just seen, because that is the only British champion who's still in the championship out of his home race. But of course, London, rarely ever favourable to those with links to the United Kingdom. As we look to Lewis Olsen come through the chicane. Revo came out of the pits, by the way, guys. Second position. Revo is still in second currently. And considering the longevity of the mediums, he should, at worst, remain second. Even if Oscar Folstad gets by as his teammate, Bastien Tan hits the wall. This should be Revo, at the very worst, finishing second. This is Revo's day at best here, as Carter on the back. Tommy trying to get past Jonathan Sims. Akari's softs have gone off the cliff, as almost contact between Carter and Sierra. Into the pits comes Pablo Sierra, going down the hill. It's a very small hill, but a hill nonetheless. Is Revo. He's rounding the final turn. Falstad spins after hitting the wall. Cosmos up to P3, and Pablo Sierra has lost the lead to the Italian Revolution. Revo leads the way. Still yellows down there, and that's for Jonathan Sims. Sims in the barriers. And is this day over for the number 21? Holds left is Akari Pitts, and he is still in this race, thankfully for Jonathan Sims, but he's lost his front wing. This has been one of the most hectic London Prix we've seen in quite a few seasons. I'll tell you that much, as Gabo and Bastien Tan fighting over 15th. Gabo up into 15th position. Jack Carter gets a 5-second time penalty. Out of the race goes Jack Carter. Santino Milan hits him, and it's a front puncture for Santino Milan. 5-second time penalty was awarded to Jack Carter. Into the pits comes an Alcuin and Bastien Tan, and with only 2 laps to go, Milan hits tyre troubles. Virtual safety car is out there, and that's one of the DS Automobile drivers out of this race. The other one still in this race, leading this race. Virtual safety car ends, and we go back racing. We go on board with Revo. Pretty clean pass there, and just about misses the wall, thankfully, does Revo. Santino Milan now rounding that chicane. Is on to the penultimate lap goes Revo. Revo starts lap 12 of 13. Cosmos is second, going for one of his best finishes in his career, if not his single best finish in his pretty short-ish career. It's a regular-sized career, if you ask me, because not everyone's able to stay here for every single season. Tommy currently in 4th, and yellows further back, and it's for Daniel Bogdasarov. He's hit the wall. And Akari collides with Bogdasarov twice. A collision. And into the wall again goes Daniel Bogdasarov, losing his entire front wing. That's just truly unfortunate for Renault Edams at this point. Falstad gets another 5-second time penalty for causing a collision. And who is that who's found issues? Is it another puncture for Santino Milan? Thankfully not, but it looks like Falstad collided with the back of the Nissan Nismo man. So it's 10 seconds worth of time penalties going to the Norwegian. But out in front, heading into the final chicane, tire trouble should begin to be a little bit of an issue, as now onto the final lap we go. Lap 13 of 13. Bastien Tan sets her fastest first sector. Revo leading the way. Pablo Sierra sets a new fastest lap. But remember, this time last season, Tommy, massive shunt, as Miguel de Souza also caught up in that virtual safety car. It will not end the race, because Revo is only now coming to the second sector. But Revo leading by 3.8 seconds, 3.9 seconds. Tommy's out for DS Venturi. And this has been, I've said this once, an Yui with a front puncture. Yui's got a puncture. Could this impact the race further? Because Revo is only now coming to where Yui is. Could this impact the race in ways that only could happen here? There goes Revo past the stricken Mahindra man. His teammate goes by. Pablo Sierra goes by at full speed. But for this man, he knows how treacherous the final chicane can be. His mediums only now beginning to give way. Into the final chicane comes Revo. And he's hit the wall for the second year in a row. Cosmos comes round the final turn. And for the second season in a row, Revo will not win in London. Drag race to the line. And Cosmos wins by 1.5 tenths of a second. Out of the race has gone Miguel de Souza. Oh, that's one of the... I've never seen that happen. That's unfortunate. As Anokui also out of the race at the same part of the track. Oh, dearie me. But Revo losing out in London for the second season in a row. And Daniel Bogdasarov still without his front wing column. Virtual safety car at the end of this race. Another drag race down to the line between the Nissan man, but Cosmos takes home his first race win, Indonesia's first race win. That's unbelievable. Every single time it's looked like things have been up into the air goes is Jonathan Sims getting himself back onto the track now. Every time it's looked like things have been up for Revo here in London. Life has a funny way of sorting things out. The chicane comes down with Bogdasarov and he's gone way too long and his tyres hits the wall again. Lots of damage being dealt to the Renault Edams man. Yellow's in the third sector and that's gonna end this race. Shit's been scary, spooky, and hilarious at points. But this is the podium then. Cosmos wins the London E3 from Pablo Sierra. And for the second season in a row, Revo comes home in third after leading so brilliantly. It's at the same turn, at the same point in the race, last lap, last turn. At least this time it wasn't for the championship. Lewis Olsen came home in fourth, then it's Daf Sanchez, Folstad, Leo, Babinas Jr., Akari Lopez, and Tenali Gab at the top 10. Outside of that, you've got Jonathan Sims, Bastian Tan, Daniel Bogdasarov, and Santino Milan. Your finishers. Your non-finishers were Miguel de Souza, Tommy, Anot Kiwi, Jack Carter, Hugh Cable, Pierre Gasly, Sabo Campo, and Cici. In the driver's standings, Pablo Sierra reclaims the lead of the championship from Sebastian Ocampo and Revo, who's third in the championship without winning a single race so far at half championship distance. Then Daniel Bogdasarov is fourth from Akari Lopez and Cici. Then it's Jonathan Sims, Anot Kiwi, Santino Milan, Oscar Folstad tied with UK Ball Bennett, Cosmos, and a tie for 13th between Lewis Olsen and Leo. Then it's Miguel de Souza, who's only scored points on, I believe, 2 occasions, one of those being a race win. Then Babinas Jr., Tenali Gabo, tied for 18th between Tommy and Pierre Gasly, Jack Carter, Daf Sanchez, and Bastian Tan. In the constructors' standings heading into race 10, Nissan Nismo lead the way on 142 points for Andrassy Honda and Sims Motorsport Nissan. Then it's DS Automobiles, Renault Edams in 5th. Then it's Aurelio Pinnacle, Aurelio Mahindra, Braun Honda GP, Dragon Renault, DS Venturi Formula E Team, and DS McLaren TGR. We'll see you guys next time then when the Formula E Monopoly Championship returns.